Good afternoon, everybody. This is Andree from JCC. Today we're going to concentrate on core strengthening and deep stretches. Okay, so part of the class is going to be more active standing. Notice I have a chair, so we're going to start with using a chair, and then you're going to need 2 blocks, a strap, and a blanket. Okay, begin seated with your legs crossed. Take a deep breath in. Pause and a slow exhale. So close your eyes or just let your eyes relax, and let's take 5 breaths seated on a blanket or on the floor with your legs crossed. Okay, so you can either close your eyes or just relax the eyes. Let's take 5 deep breaths, inhaling, filling the lungs, exhaling, maintaining the lift to the spine as you release. Let's do 4 more breaths this way. So we are controlling the breath. Deep inhale, slow exhale. Feel the spread of the ribs as you take that deep inhale. Maintain that lift as you exhale. Let's take 2 more breaths this way. Inhaling, open the chest. Exhaling. Let's do this one more time. Deep inhale and slow exhale. Take the right side of your head, the left side of your head with your right hand, and then gently press your head to the side. Give your neck and shoulder a chance to release. Coming back to the center. Let's go to the other side. Now this one side may be tighter than the other side. And then come back to the center. So we're going to start by using the chair. Okay, so place your blanket to the side. Standing in front of the chair. So you're going to bring your hands back. So place the chair on your mat so it doesn't slide. Place your hands on the back of the chair so the seat is facing me. So pressing the heel of your palms on the chair and begin to stretch the spine. Now, as you're doing that, you want to engage the abdominal muscles. So pull the abs in. Now observe your breath. Keep your ears between your arms. So don't force it, but just fully extend the arms. Feel the skin becoming thin over the ribs and the hips. And feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Now pull the navel in to support the lumbar spine. And now bring your hands to the seat of the chair. Walk back a little bit more. And come into a chair dog pose. So keep the ears between your arms. Let's take 5 breaths here. Keep pressing the front of your thighs back. and slowly walk forward. So all these weight-bearing poses that we do are very much part of core strength. So as we use our core, you want to observe how that gives power to the rest of your body to stretch and even your breath is affected by the power of the core. So we are going to bring the hands again to the back of the chair the way we did before. So you press your heels, your palms there, you step back, again return into the first position we did. So you're lifting the tailbone, the hips up, the sitting bones up, as you're pressing the front of your thighs back. Make sure your arms are fully extended because you don't want to stress the shoulders or the joints. So what we're stretching right now is the muscles. Feel the stretch in your triceps. And now place your hands to the seat of the chair again, the palms of your hands on the chair. Step back into your chair, dog pose. Connect to the concave position of the thoracic spine. Now you're going to come to your knees. If you're sensitive, you can place a blanket on the seat of your chair, or just bring your elbows to the chair. And then bring your forehead, you can move your knees back, and then bring your forehead to the edge of the chair. And let's take 10 breaths here. So bring awareness to the inhale as the ribs expand, and the pull of the navel as you exhale. So don't let the back sag like this. So you want to use your core muscles to maintain a flat back. That's a little bit more intense stretch of the triceps. Now begin to stretch the arms forward in the amount that you can, and then bring the arms back up. Let's do that again. Notice where the resistance is, and back up. And now just walk in. Sit in front of the chair. Cross your arms and place your forehead on your hand. Let's take 5 breaths here. Bringing awareness to the sensation of the breath. Let's take 1 more breath. And sit up. So let's put a chair to the side. Come to your hands and knees. And walk your hands forward. Now we're going to go to a regular downward facing dog. Again, if you like the chair, you can just keep your chair for dog pose. Tuck your toes under. Press back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Padasana. Now these are the core muscles. So today we are concentrating on the core. So extension of the limbs, like the arms and the legs, and the power of the core. Now come to your knees to child's pose. Keep the arms extended forward, bring your forehead to the mat, and come back to your hands and knees. Starting on all fours. Okay, concentrating on the core muscles as you breathe. Inhaling to expand the chest. Exhaling, engage the core muscles. Pulling the navel in and then running your back. Inhaling to neutral spine. So we're not going into a back bend. We're just going to a flat back. Taking a couple breaths here. Keep your mindset concentrating on the core muscles as you breathe. And now as you exhale, pull the navel in and run your back. Inhale back to neutral. Take a couple of breaths here. Keep that belly from sagging into the floor. And then as you exhale, pull the navel in, run your back into cat position. Now let's do this one more time. This time, inhale into the back bend, into the cow position. Exhale, run your back, press the chest pose. Inhale into the cow. Even shift a little bit more forward. Exhaling, run the back to captive child's pose. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the arms alongside your body. Take 5 breaths here. Let your head drop. Keep your chest releasing between your thighs. Continue to control the breath. Take a deep inhale. Slow exhale. Let the shoulders relax. So let's slowly sit up. I want to say a little bit about something about the shoulders. So when we go into the child's pose and the arms are by the side, we want the shoulders to relax in an opening way. So I mean the shoulder blades move away from each other, dropping away from each other. And then when we go into, which we're going to do next, into the Sphinx position, then you're creating the opposite action in the thoracic spine. So now you want to bring the shoulder blades. So in fact, sit here the way you are, and then move the elbows back. Breathe here. So when we do this small asymmetric movement, we realize how much power we have to access in our core, right? So a lot of time I tell my students to do asymmetric exercise with the core. For example, so doing this sort of thing without moving, your elbows are back, you inhale, exhale. Feel the breath moving to the front of the body, from the pubic bone to the collarbone, from the collarbone to the pubic bone. So let's inhale again. Exhale. So now we're going to go into a Sphinx position. So you lie down on your belly and you place your forearms on the floor. Now you want the elbows to be basically underneath the shoulders. You want your legs to be fully extended. So you are rolling the inner thighs up. Now let's take a few breaths here. press the forearms down from the wrist all the way to the elbows. So now, keeping your hands over there, you're going to begin to curl the spine. The people away from the floor, pulling the abs in, dropping the head. And then inhaling, back to Sphinx. Exhaling, pull the abs in. Inhaling. Let's do this one more time. Exhale. Inhale. Take 5 breaths here. Breathing to the front of the spine. So you feel out that energy with the in-breath in the front of the spine. But feel the release in the back, in your back muscles as you exhale. So inhaling, exhaling, softening the back muscles. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. Now you're going to interlace your fingers, root the forearms down, tuck your toes under, come into dolphin plank. So I'm looking at my feet here. I want to make sure that I'm centered on my mat, pressing the wrist and the elbows down. Breathing here. 10 breaths. Now come to your knees. Slide your arms alongside your body. Now relaxing the shoulder blades away from each other. 5 breaths. And then slowly sit up. So just like I was talking about the muscles in the back, in the thoracic spine, the core muscles also need the action of contraction and expansion. So what we're going to do now, we're going to lie down on your back and we're going to do bridge. And we're going to explore the contraction as you come down from bridge. So you're going to expand as you lift into bridge, and then you're going to contract the muscles to release back down to the floor. Okay? So the position of your feet, you can have your feet hip width apart or a little bit wider. So if you have a very tight sacrum and you have a tendency to feel some compression in your lumbar spine when you do bridge, then I would recommend that you keep your feet a little wider than your knees. Now stretch your arms alongside your body. Take a couple of breaths here. Again, keep your mind centered on your core. Now we are going to use the breath to flow. So exhale here. Inhale, lift. Now feel the expansion of the belly as you lift. And now pull the navel in. Exhale, release down. Now, just to make sure that we keep our toes, our knees in the right position, let's put a block between your knees. And then we do it again without the block. Okay, so your arms are by your side, your shoulder blades slide down your back, so we sort of in a mini fish pose. Okay, inhaling lift. Pull the navel in. Exhaling, vertebra by vertebra, release down to the floor. Until your back is fully resting on the mat. Let's do this again. You pull the abs in first. So there is an actual tilting the pelvic floor up. You lift And then you go into the expansion of the front of the spine. You pull the navel in and you release back down. And then you release the tailbone down. Now let's do this again. Curl up. Open, expand. Curl down. Let's do this one more time. Curl up. So you start with a curl and then you open the front body. And then you begin with a curl as you lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Okay, let's remove the block, but keep the memory of the block. Okay, so imagine the block is still there. Let's inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do that 2 more times. Up. Remember the block between your knees. And down. Sometimes you need to readjust a little bit. We're going to do this one more time. Up. And down. Now extend the arms out to the side in a T formation. Bring your knees in. Keep your knees together. And then lower the knees only part way to the right. We're going to take 5 breaths using the core muscles to maintain the lift of the knee off the floor. So we are strengthening the obliques, abdominals. Keep those knees together. Keep the left shoulder rooted. And then come back to the center. And lower the knees part way to the other side. And hold using the core muscles. Take 2 more breaths. And slowly come back to the center. And just plant your feet past here. So I want to say one more thing about twist. But as you bring the knees in, we're going to do this again, bring the knees in, and you lower the knees to the side, you want to now take your mind to your left side of your waist and pull your waist on the floor. Stretch your arms away from each other. Come back to the center. Let's go to the other side. So now you to the left, you pull in the right side of your waist toward the floor. And coming back to the center. Plant the feet. So we're going to do a few roll up, and we're going to start, it's going to be totally, we're not going to go totally all the way up. You're going to keep your knees bent, have your feet a little bit forward of the knees. Stretch your arms to the ceiling. Pull the navel in and lift, coming up with the knees bent. Stretch the spine. Now bring the arms over your head and then slowly curl your spine all the way down to the floor. Breathe into that space. Now bring the arms up to vertical, reach up, lift the head up, engage the core. Keep reaching up and eventually you find yourself reaching forward as if you were holding on to ropes. Okay, so keep holding on to the ropes, pull the abs in, lower yourself all the way down. And let's do this again. Bring the arms up to where you go. Pull yourself up. Stretch the arms up. Curl yourself down. And bring the arms by your side. Now we're going to do it with your legs straight. So you have your legs together. Again, rotating the front of your thighs in. You're going to stretch the arms over your head. You could inhale the arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, pull the navel in, pull your head forward, and roll all the way up, reaching forward. Inhaling, arms over your head. Exhaling, curl the spine to lower yourself all the way down. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull the abs up. Lift your head, curl all the way up. Reach way forward. Inhaling, arms straight up to the ceiling. Curl your spine all the way down to the floor. Do that 1 more time. Bring the arms up to the ceiling. Reach up, lift your head up, engage the core, come all the way forward, and if you can, grab your toes or your feet and release, or grab a strap. And then inhale, come up. So we are going to use a strap today to explore boat pose. So you're sitting with your legs in front of you. You're going to take the strap, take the strap around the heels, right? So let's bend the knees. Have the strap underneath your heels. Okay. Now, lift the feet up. Keep the knees bent for now. So the arms are fully straight. You're holding on as close to your feet as you can. So try not to bend the elbows because then you lose the leverage. Okay. Now, release the head of the shoulders away from your ears. And now very slowly, see how much can you stretch your legs. So continue that inner rotation of the front of your thighs. You can look at your toes, making sure you have 10 toes. Now let your legs get released into that stretch. Make sure your core is engaged. And now slowly bend your knees. And let's remove the strap. We are going to do both pose from 3 different positions. Okay, so the first one, now we're doing the same thing. You're bending the knees, you're stretching the arms, and then you stretch your legs. Bending the knees, place your feet on the floor. The other way to get into it is you stretch your legs, have your hands behind you. You're going to lean back, lifting the legs, and then stretch the arms. And then lower the legs down. So it's really important to straighten your core muscles using different position of both pose, different ways of getting into it. Because depending on which way you get into dog pose, to boat pose, you are maybe straightening the muscles just a little differently. Okay, so now the last one that I'm going to teach you is to lie down on your back. You're going to stretch the arms over your head. Take a moment here, take a few breaths here. Energize the legs, energize the arms. Firm up the core muscles. So you can let the belly expand as you inhale, but then contract as you exhale. Now you're going to inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Imagine you try to reach for something that's too high up. So reach up, lift your head up, and then begin to coordinate the legs and the arms as you come to boat pose. So this is another way of getting into boat pose. Now stretch the arms, lower yourself all the way down. Take a couple of breaths here. Legs are really very engaged. Core is engaged. Now, inhale your arms up to the ceiling, pause there, reach up. As we said, pull the abs in, lift the head up, and lift the legs. And you want to lift the legs from the center, from the inner thighs, not from the quads. And then release down, bend the knees. And bring the knees into your chest. And rock from side to side. Roll to your side. Come back onto your hands and knees. Pausing here with your wrist beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips. Okay, so let's do cat-cow pose. You're going to inhale into cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Exhale to child's pose. Bring your arms alongside your body. Let the shoulders drop. Broaden the thoracic spine. And let's release it up. So we are going to take our 2 blocks now. And today I want to do the supported back bend on the block. So there's 2 positions of the block depending on what you want to do. One, the block that's going to be for your head is on the high end. But the block that's going to be for your chest could be, we're going to start this way, on the medium height. And then we see if you can go up a little higher. Okay? Now, this is recline Virasana, Sutta Virasana, which is lying down hero pose. And you know, if you have knee issue, you're not going to be able to do that pose. So if this is you, then you're going to have your leg fully extended in front of you, or bring your leg into cobbler's pose. Okay, so let's begin. Those of you who are going to do, so set up for your pose. So if you're doing the Sutta Virasana, you stand only the way I am and move the calves out of the way and sit between your feet. So that pose is not only good for the core, but it also opens up the psoas. It stretches the psoas muscles, it stretches the intercostal muscles, so your whole body is in an opening mode. So begin to curl back, so scoot your tailbone under, and then curl back, and hold on to the block to make sure the block is going to land in the right place. It should be right at the bottom of your shoulder blades. And then adjust the block for your head. Now you want to keep your knees. If you're doing Sutta Virasana, keep your knees together. Keep the little toe pressing to the floor. So the action in your legs is an inner rotation of the front of your thighs, but it's an outer rotation of the knees. Right? And the outer rotation of the knees will bring your little toe down to the floor. Now let's extend the arms over your head. And go to your place as long as if it doesn't hurt your shoulders, take a couple of breaths here. And then open the arms out to the side. and then let your arms rest by your side. So we're going to take 10 breaths here. Bring awareness right now to the inhalation. So as you take a deep inhale, pause, and then exhale. Let's just take a couple of normal breaths. Notice if there's any resistance in the chest, which means when there's a lot of resistance in the chest, it means that we have tight intercostal muscles. So if that's what you feel, then that's the pose for you. Let's take a deep breath in. Hold there. Try to keep the opening as you exhale. Normal breath. Let's do that again. Deep breath in. Hold. Keep opening the cavity, the chest cavity as you hold. And then exhale, keep the cavity open. Normal breath. Now be sensitive mentally to the change in sensation as you hold a position. So let's take a deep breath in, pause, hold there, keep the opening as you exhale. Normal breath. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in, hold the opening, keep holding as you exhale. And then slowly come up. Now let's experiment with the block on the higher end. So try to keep the block where it was in the same place, so that when you go back, you don't have to look for it. Hold on to the block, and then slide back. Bring your head to the other block. So now you have much more of a open in the chest. Adjust your blocks if you need to. Keep the knees together. And then bring the arms out to the side. Let's take 5 breaths here. Feel the opening in the chest. Feel the lift between the shoulder blades. And then slowly come up. Pause here. And now move your blocks to the side. Shift onto your knees. Step back. And let's do Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Fully open the back of your legs. We're going to do pigeon pose. Stretch your right leg up. You know if you have bad knees, you do it on your back. Bend the knee, open your hip. As you exhale, bring your leg to pigeon pose. Take a moment to release into your pose. Come forward. Palms in Namaste. Let your head drop in a release. Take 5 breaths. Try not to round your thoracic spine. So you still try to maintain a concave position of the spine. Now you can either place one hand over your head, place your forehead on your hands. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Let's take one more breath. Slowly pull away from the floor. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. If you're on your back, you stretch both legs. Extend your left leg up, bend your knee, open your hip. Exhale the leg to pigeon pose. Then taking the time to release into your pose. Then come forward. Bring the palms together first. So here we do next position. You can let the head drop. You want to continue to rotate the triceps in, keeping a concave thoracic spine. So it is definitely possible to move the shoulder blades toward each other while at the same time dropping the head forward. So there is some action here in the upper body. And now placing one hand over the other hand. Let the elbows spread nice and wide. Bring the forehead to your hands. 5 breaths. And then as you inhale, come back up. Tuck your toes under and press to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Now walk your feet in into forward bend. Grab your elbows. Don't hang in your heels. Shift the weight toward your toes, to the ball of the feet. Stretch the arms, the elbows toward the floor. And if you're very close to the floor, it is possible to use a block to bring the elbows down. So it gives you a support for the elbows. Another position, if you're able to do it, is to, and I cannot do it all the time, sometimes I can, depending on my flexibility, place your hands on your ankles, shift forward, and bring your head to the block. You can drop your head forward or wherever you want to put the head, bring your head to the block. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Open the elbows wide. Now inhale, stretch your spine, come all the way up with your hands on your hips. And let's do a wide stance, forward bend. In fact, it's not going to be that wide. You just go to separate your feet to the edge of your mat. Have your hands on your hips. Move the elbows back. Hinge forward. Core muscles engage to protect the lumbar spine. So all the work is in the legs, the spine is on you, releasing. And then bring your hands to the floor or to your ankles. Pull. And then exhale, release. To your pose, hold on to your elbows, change your hold of your elbows. Keep the weight shifted toward the ball of the feet. Let's take 2 more breaths. And inhaling, press your hands on your hips, come all the way up. So I wanted to say something about forward bend. When you do a forward bend, especially if you're able to use support underneath the head. So it could be 2 blocks. You know, if your head doesn't come to the floor, you could always have 2 blocks. This is a fantastic alternative to a headstand. So there's a lot of benefit to headstand, but headstand usually is not accessible to everyone for a number of reasons. One of them being the neck, right? We don't want to, you want to be able to lift enough so there's no pressure on the neck. So by doing a forward, so let's try here with 2 blocks, just experiment. Now it could be the 2 blocks are not enough, then you use your chair, okay? So separate your feet a little wider than your hips. Place your hands on your hips. Exhale, hinge. Bring the top of your head to the block. So the important, then let the arms release. So the important thing is that you create some pressure in the crown of the head. So you are shifting the weight to the ball of the feet, but at the same time you're pressing your heels down. And now you have that feeling underneath your head. Now use the cobra, so pull the navel in and go as deep as you can. So it could be that this is too high for you. Then in that case, you just use the block of the lower end. So it's all this variation. And then inhale, come up. Now if you have high blood pressure and your blood pressure is under control, you can definitely do this pose. But before you come out, always make sure so you are in a pose. Before you come out, you will stretch the spine. So you are affecting your blood pressure this way. You bring it back more to normal, and then slowly you come back up so that you don't get any dizzy feeling. Okay, so let's put the blocks. Let's keep the 2 blocks. Let's take your blanket. No strap. We don't need a strap. We're going to do without a strap today. Okay, you're going to sit in front of your blanket. And you're going to use the blanket just to support the spine. So the edge of the blanket captures the top of your lumbar. I would say this is the L1. Okay. Now take your blocks. You're going to bring the feet together and adjust the block so that they're supporting your thighs, but they're not interfering with the stretch. Okay? Now stretch your arms over your head to get length. And then let the arms rest by your side. Close your eyes. Adjust your feet if you need to. Adjust the block for more stretch. The important thing is that you are supported by the block so you can release into the opening. And notice the sensation in the abdominal cavity in this position. It's wide open. But also notice the sensation in your back. So your sacrum should feel soft. We're going to take 10 breaths here. Inhaling, filling the lungs, exhaling, releasing. So let's take a few breaths without controlling the breath. Okay, taking a deep breath in and taking a slow breath out. Just inhale in and let it out. Now let's return to that breath. Just take a deep breath in, hold, and then slow, steady exhale. Normal breath. Let's do that one more time. Deep inhale. Pause. Slow, steady exhale. Normal breath. One more time. Deep in breath. Keep opening the chest. And slow, steady out breath. Now place your hands on the side of your thighs. Bring the legs together. Remove your block. We're going to set up for Shavasana. I'm going to teach you a different way to use the blanket. So we know you can use a blanket underneath your thighs or underneath the knees to release the back. But also, you could lie down flat. You could experiment with that. Now separate your feet to the edge of your mat. And then place the blanket on the top of your thighs. Curl yourself down. Bend the elbows. And then lift into a mini fish. And then release back down. Let your arms rest by your side. Close your eyes. Shavasana. Let the elbows relax. Let the fingers relax. Let the breath flow without controlling it, but with awareness, so that you know you are breathing. We breathe all day long without really noticing that we are. So in this moment, you want to fully be present with the movement of the breath. Relaxing the center of your palms. Relaxing the lips and the forehead. Letting the eyes drop to the back of your head. Returning to the breath, observing the breath. Observing the silence of the mind. body release. Now before we come out of Shavasana, we're going to take a deep breath in, exhale to your mouth. Let's do this again, deep breath in, exhale to your mouth. One more time, deep breath in, exhale. Now bend your knees, press them out to the side, and roll to your side to come up to a sitting position. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you're going to have a nice day. Finish the day in a very nice way. Bring the palms together. With your next exhalation, bow to yourself with gratitude. Namaste.